Good afternoon, this is Lucky Lynx. Okay, so it's been a few days since I've done a video, and I'm not quite sure how I want to do this video. Something's telling me I should do a video. I'm not quite sure how I should go about it. So I'm gonna get some help from my friends here. I guess this is kind of how I want to put it. Many of you know that I've been studying Tibetan cosmology and doing a great deal of Tibetan astrology right now for clients. And I told you guys that I would kind of use this channel to sort of talk about my experiences. I think when you're raised in an in an environment where you really don't fit, where things don't necessarily make sense, or the spiritual tradition that's being hoisted upon you is one that you really don't jive with. And it's even difficult to figure out where your place in the world is. And I think this is why so many of us turn to this path. We're trying to figure out who we are in our heart, right? We're trying to figure out who we are in our heart and why we're here. And the reason that I started all this to begin with was I wanted a deeper understanding. I wanted to find out why I was here. And that's, and I've said that before. That's why I started working with the tarot. That's why I started going down this path to begin with. And it's easy when you do that. I mean, you stumble quite a bit when you do that. When you come out of a place where you've got no one to show you the way, no one to show you the road, no one who's showing you what you need. Like, the adults aren't doing what you feel that you're good at. The churches aren't doing what you're good at. The schools aren't really doing what you're good at. There's this feeling in your heart that I know I'm here for a reason. Nothing I see around me in anyone seems to be the pattern for where that is that I want to go. It can be real easy to become confused and to become jaded and to become angry and to become frustrated. And I think that that's sort of the impulse that leads many of us down towards this kind of thing, where we're looking to the spirit world and we're trying to figure out how does this tell me? Does this give me answers? In a lot of what I found in that world, in a lot of what I found in this world when I was looking, seemed to be unsatisfactory in the fact that it flattered people more than it gave answers and solutions. And there were a lot of religions out there already, and religious people out there already were just either flat out condemning people or flattering them. And I'd go to workshops and they'd be like, okay, well, you're going to imagine this situation, and they take you through a guided meditation, and then you'd have all this power in the guided meditation, and you'd come out and everything would be the same. You go through this big guided meditation where the skies would open up and something would come down, and oh, well, this is important for you, and that's important that you know this, and then you go back to your life and nothing would really be changed. Or you'd have an experience where they'd be like, well, this is your totem, and then you'd like, well, nothing would change. Or Western astrology was a big one. It's like, well, this and this is supposed to tell you about your compatibility and you're about this, and things wouldn't change. It'd still be struggling in relationships. It'd still be, And it's really been over the last few weeks as I've been delving into Tibetan cosmology that I've gotten some of the answers, really big answers that I've been looking for my whole life. Really, why am I here? What was the impulse that put me here? Why Why did things happen the way that they happened when I was growing up? Why did I end up doing this? What happened when I avoided doing this and why I kept getting pushed back to it? What is the world made up of? These were questions that started to be answered when I started down the path of Tibetan Bon, and I started to see how, Tibetan Bon taught us that the world was put together and how things came into being. But over the last few weeks, I've actually been able to look at the world and say, wow, there is so much reason behind this. And we cheat ourselves when we want to be flattered. I guess that's the best way that we can say it. I think within the spiritual community that's going on right now, there's a dirty little secret, and there's a dirty little fact that no one wants to admit. People want power. They're told we're supposed to love, we're supposed to have compassion, we're supposed to, which I'm not disagreeing with, but I don't think people will admit what they really want is power. They want their own power. They want the power to be able to do what they want. They want the power to be who they are. They want the power to express what's really in their hearts. Because if you don't have that power, someone can come along immediately and tell you, no, don't do that, don't be that. Which we've all experienced. Or, I don't like who you are. I don't like the way you look. Or, I don't like the way you believe. And that can be devastating. And I think that there's so many people so busy with trying to justify their systems, their trademarks, their programs that they're selling, that no one wants to admit, hey, we're seeking to be relevant, we're seeking to have power. Because if we don't have power, well, we can't express our purpose. We can't help anyone. We don't have the ability to love. You ever try to love someone when you feel powerless? That's not love what happens, that's neediness. When you feel powerless, you rely on people. There's neediness there, it's not love. And I think that with people not admitting that we're really trying to get power, what happens in a lot of these systems, a lot of these and it's not just the New Age, it's just the religions, it's like everyone wants to believe that God's on their side, that they're the one that's ultimately blessed, that the raging tiger is their spirit animal, and that the angels are on their side. Why? Because they want power. Instead of just admitting that and going, okay, I want power, I want to claim my power, and then going, now how do I go about doing it, and why am I really here? The thing that always frustrated me about the religions and a lot of the New Age stuff when I first got into it, and over the years when I got into it, was that it was more about flattery than about solutions and about really getting your own power. Oh, well, you're really powerful because your moon is in Leo. And you see it in the memes all the time, and you see it in the way people talk about themselves. Oh, well, I'll have double Scorpio, so don't mess with me. It's like, maybe. The stuff that I encountered here in the guided meditations and in a lot of the systems and everything, it was always about flattering you. But then if you can't come out of the meditation, if you can't come out of the system actually with more power and more ability to do many more things and to be able to affect the world in great ways, what's it really doing for you? And so the frustration that built over the years when I was in all that stuff looking for a way to express who I really was, what was it really in my heart, I felt cheated so many times because someone was willing to flatter me. Oh, well, you're this kind of young man, or you're that, and they'd flatter me. They'd flatter my appearance, they'd flatter my intelligence, they'd flatter this, but they wouldn't actually tell me or help me find the path to what I was really trying to find, which was, how do you express all that stuff? Where do we come from? What is this thing that I really am? Because I knew damn well inside of us that this wasn't what I was. Something else was what I was, but I couldn't get to it. So I guess I'm expressing this as loosely as I can, the best that I can. Because I think there's other people out there too who are frustrated. They're frustrated by the system that they're raised in, the religious systems, the spiritual systems, the school systems, the job systems. And they're like, is this all that I'm supposed to be? I'm supposed to suffer until the end of my life, where some God who made me to suffer is going to say, now you get the big reveal. I was just trying to love you by kicking your ass. Or I'm just supposed to work a job where I listen to someone all day bark at me and then come home too tired to do anything. Or, all I'm supposed to do is completely butt up against these obstacles my whole life, and that's it? That's the whole reason I'm here? No. I can honestly say now, in my experience with Tibetan cosmology, it's not why you're here. You are here for something that's much bigger, and each one of us, we really do come from something that's really trying to get us to see what we really are. That I will say from my own experience, just from what I've learned to this point. I always suspected it, but now I have some proof. What I think is frustrating and what I think cheats people is when the TV shows, the talk shows, the radio programs, the Facebook groups, the Instagram posts, the religions all tell us that something that's flattering us, but something that actually doesn't connect us to what we really are. If someone tells you your spirit animal is X, but it doesn't do anything for your life and it doesn't give you the actual ability of that animal, then that person's probably BSing you. There's just... And I guess maybe I really saw it when I was teaching. I went to a private art school and learned writing. I wanted to be a writer. And the reason I went to this art school, it's famous in Chicago. They were supposed to, the whole staff there was supposed to be published. They were all published authors. They were all going to show you how to do it. So I went to this school. I'm like, that's it. I'm going to write my novels. And when I got there, I realized that everyone on staff was in fact published, but most of them were published in a magazine that they produced right there in their own department. That really didn't get much bigger circulation than within that department and in contest with other colleges. And I realized then that I had been lied to and I'd been cheated. Now there were a couple of people there that were, nationally published or had novels published. For the most part, people were just flattering each other and then trying to flatter us. That taught me a lot about expectations and raising my standards. And I think that in this spirituality stuff, we should raise our standards. Don't accept being flattered. Don't accept being told you're great and you're powerful, because you know what, you are. But don't stop there. Find out why you're great and powerful. Find out what you come from. Find out why your heart is amazing. Find out why this opportunity that you have as a human being is so incredibly precious. There are ways to do it. Don't stop asking questions. And don't settle for people flattering you. I'm Lucky Lynx, as always, wishing you success and good fortune in all that you do. If you'd like to get a reading with me, 779-302-8009 or conjurehope@gmail.com. Hey, if you'd like to get your Tibetan chart done, this is just one of them I'm working on right now. Oh, that's mine. All right. This is just some of what goes into your Tibetan astrology chart. We don't press a button and print it out. We don't just have a computer program tell us. There's a lot that goes into it. So if you'd like to get your astrology chart done, contact me, 779-302-8009 or conjurehope@gmail.com. And this is just a piece of the chart. This is This is not all of it. And these are the notes that I've made on the magic number section too. So if you guys would like some Killcore work done, where I create a map of your life, and then I use Tibetan bond processes to set things into motion. We took a look at what the elements are doing in your life, and then we can actually help bring stuff into being or remove obstacles, stuff like that. If you'd like to get a Killcore done, 779-302-8009. conjurehope@gmail.com. And is that it? Class. If you'd like to take a class. Hey, if you want to learn how to read the tarot, I got a basic tarot class, and I've got an advanced tarot class. If you would like to learn how to read Lenormand, I have a basic Lenormand class, and I have a Grand Tableau class. If you would like to learn how to read the Mexican Loteria cards, I have one in that. If you would like to learn how to do crystal ball reading, I have a class in that. And playing cards. If you'd like to read playing cards, I have a class in how to read playing cards. Contact me, 779-302-8009 or conjurehope@gmail.com, and I'll tell you how to do that. And I think that's it, except for those of you who've donated. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for donating. If you would like to donate, because these videos give you something to think about, I'm going to put my PayPal and my Venmo below. Thank you to all of you who've donated. I really appreciate it. Hey guys, it's one thing for someone to tell you you got the power of a jaguar. It's another thing for someone to show you exactly how to become that jaguar. Don't settle for flattery. Seeks the substance, not the flash. You guys have a great week.